Well, hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Grow Wealthy Grooming. I am your host, River Lee, of the founder of the Savvy Groomer. Welcome to my closet. It's just gonna be kind of one of those days. If you guys are here for the very first time, like I said, I'm the founder of the Savvy Groomer, where I teach you to go from being burnt out, broke, and broken to healthy, wealthy, and happy, building a grooming business on your terms. So let's go ahead and get started with today's topic. I am just getting over COVID, so forgive me if I have a little rustling in my chest, and I may or may not lose my voice. I'm in the closet right now because fingers crossed that we're going to have awesome reception. I'm going to be staying at this Airbnb probably till the end of February. We'll make it work. So today's topic is fine-tuning those SMART goals that we were working on last time. So what I want to do really quickly is I'm actually going to pull up the comments from the last video. So I'm going to try and do that really carefully so I don't... I know it's got all the comments. Oh shoot, where are the comments from the live? It's funny too because I feel like technology should just work when you want it to work and not be saucy, but what are you gonna do? So here is what I am gonna do. I am gonna do camera. Here we go. So we're gonna, hey, Best Pets, great to see you. There we go. Try and make this a little bigger. So hopefully we can, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to read these, but we're going to do our very best. Sorry. Woo! Sorry. All right, so let's go ahead and transition to these different SMART goals. Now, if you guys are here live and you want me to help you hop into those SMART goals, that's not a problem at all. And if you do not remember what SMART stands for, give me 1 second. I'm going to pull that up right now. Boop. So, SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. Basically, specific means, is it, very clear, measurable, how much, is there, achievable, and you actually do it. So let me read off everything because you know what, I'm gonna screw all this up. I really miss having my two little, here we go, boop. Don't mind me. I really miss having two monitors. It makes everything so much easier. So here you guys go. So just Googling it, specific, be clear and specific so your goals are easier to achieve. This also helps you know how and where to get started. Measurable, measure goals can be tracked, allowing you to see your progress. They also tell you when your goal is complete. Actionable, are you able to make action to achieve the goal? Actionable goals ensure the steps to get there are within your control. Realistic, avoid overwhelm and unnecessary stress and frustration by making the goal realistic. And then time bound. A date helps us stay focused and motivated, inspiring us to provide something to work towards. So going through all of our comments, right? So let's do live chat replay. Darn it, it's not going to let us do that. Oh my goodness. Here we go. So I'm going to see if I can find somebody's. Yep, okay, I just want to make sure we're still here. Goal from before. Hey, Ashley, great to see you. Ashley, did you have a goal that you wanted to see if it was okay, so here's Ashley. She's saying, I want to start my own mobile by next year. So here's what we've got to do, right? We've got to make it specific. So opening up a mobile business. When? By next year. So instead of saying something along the lines of next year, maybe we say, by March 2020, right? Or by December 2020. So by having a specific end date, that's going to help us. So, give me 1 second. I'm going to transition so you guys can see my happy face while I pull up just a little Google Doc. That way we can actually work on this and look at this together. It's times like this that I really miss using something like Zoom, because Zoom is just so much easier to look at, a computer like this. Like it's so much easier versus, trying to share screen and it's not quite sharing appropriately. We're just making do. It's funny because, it's like anything, right? So let's pull this back up. Boop. Here we go. I know that's a very sexy face right there. That looks awesome. So we have our goal, right? So you want to open up your own mobile next year. So let's look at what our S is, right? So, and again, if you don't find the acronym you need, look up. There's so many things online, guys. Feel free to. So S, set real numbers with real deadlines. Don't say I want more visitors. Okay. Be clear and specific, right? Can't read that one because it's too much. Who, what, where, when, and why, right? Perfect. So, is this a specific goal? No, not yet, right? So let's start. And again, I'm going to go out of order because that's how my brain works. If you're a more linear human being, I apologize in advance. So I want to start my own mobile next year. And I want to make sure I can actually, yep, you guys can see what I'm seeing. That's where I missed the second one, right? So I want to open my own mobile grooming business by, let's say, December 2022. Perfect. Right? And then we're like, okay, well, is this, So first thing I want to ask myself is this achievable, right? And so this is where I might dive into this. So this is, if this was somebody on a coaching call, I'd be like, okay, and this is where I would ask myself, how much money do I need in order to start my mobile grooming business, right? And so I'm going to tell you, ideally, 6 months worth of personal expenses, ideally 6 months of business expenses, and then let's say a down payment on a grooming van, right? So that's a lot of stuff. So we're like, okay, well, we've got these 3 things that we need to get minimally. Another thing we need to take into account here is what is the lead time for building a mobile grooming van. Right now for Hanvy, so let's say Hanvy is anywhere between 12 and 26 weeks average from time of financing. So by the time you've asked what you want to build, you've sent them the down payment, it is 12 to 26 weeks average to get that van built. So first thing we've got to do is look at, right, these. So let's do relevant. And is it a relevant goal? I hope. I can't spell relevant. It's going to tell me how to like spell things. Thank God. Thank God for spell check. It knows what I want. You know, I'm assuming that owning your own business is what you want, but you want to make sure, like, do I need health insurance? Is it a situation that I'm okay with potentially not making any money for 3 to 6 months while my business is being built? Am I okay with, in the very beginning, grooming probably 30 to 40 hours a week and working on the backside of my business another 20 or 30 hours? Working in a salon 40 hours a week is hard. Or working in a mobile business for 40 hours a week is hard. But then when we are our own business, we have to do the job of a receptionist, a manager, a groomer, right? We have all that other stuff. So I want to make sure if I set this date of December 2022, am I going to have all of these things, right? So this is where there might be a goal beforehand, right? I might have to say, I want to save up, let's say $60,000. And we're going to say $25,000 down payment on a grooming van. Let's say, $15,000 business expenses. Yeah, I mean, sorry, I'm getting a text message. Like, I love y'all, but I'm a little busy. And then let's say you don't have a spouse or anything, so you need another $20,000 for personal expenses. If you're starting from zero in this example, is it likely you're going to be able to save up $60,000? Unless if you have something to sell or to do, this may be very difficult, because let's look at December 2022. If we're looking at 12 weeks, $60,000 by, let's say, September 2022. That is January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So that's 8 months. 8 months. That's how much, I'm going to do my math. $60,000 divided by 8. That's about $7,500 a month saved. So a lot of times we're going to say, I have this audacious goal. And I'm like, okay, well, let's break down that goal. Make sure it's a SMART goal. Make sure it's a realistic goal. So I want to save up $60,000. I'm going to do $25,000 down payment on my grooming van. I'm going to have $15,000 to save for my business expenses, which is my grooming van payment, insurance, marketing for my website, etc. And I'm going to have $20,000 set aside for my emergency fund for my personal life and my business. That way, if I have to pay this and that, and I have nobody come in, or God forbid we get shut down for COVID, or God forbid, instead of 12 weeks, we're at 26 weeks, or you get fired early from your current job because your job finds out that you're going to be opening up your own business, whatever it is, let's use that as an example, right? So we're going to have $60,000. So that's where the question becomes, is that achievable, right? In 8 months, am I going to be able to save $7,500 a month? So let's say this person at this point, and again, Ashley, I'm not calling you out. This is just a great example because I think people need to think through these goals. So let's say you're looking at the $60,000 and you're like, there's absolutely no hope of me being able to do that before December 2022. So then let's go ahead. So let's say instead, I want to save up, I want to open my own mobile grooming business by December 2023. Now, this is less sexy, right? This is less sexy because we always want to do everything now. I don't want to wait 2 years. I want to do this today. I want to do this now. But here's the thing is that by you having money saved and by doing it the right way, it's going to be so much smoother. When people open up businesses on a shoestring budget, they have so many problems in their business. Anytime there's a little problem, it's a giant hiccup, right? Because if you're sick with COVID for 2 weeks and there's no one to groom and you have to reschedule everybody, if you have $15,000 worth of business expenses in the bank and $20,000 for personal expenses, you're going to take the time to heal. You're going to do the right thing by you. Okay? This just allows you to have so many more choices. And about $25,000 down on a grooming van is about average right now. Because don't forget, you may or may not be able to roll your taxes into your payment. You may or may not be able to put everything into your loan. So we want to have that little bit of buffer and extra. Okay. So I want to open my own mobile grooming business by December 2023. I will save up $30,000. Well, I will save up $60,000 by September 2023 and place my order for my van in September 2023, right? So that may be a little more realistic. And I know it's not sexy to have realistic goals. It's more fun to like beat the odds and be crazy and this and that. But sometimes it just takes, Ashley's saying, I think I want to pay for the conversion and finance the van. So do you have $40,000 in the bank? Because that's about what the conversion goes for. Anywhere between $30,000 and $50,000. And if you're going to pay for the conversion and finance the van. Oh, is my audio really bad, guys? Let me make sure my Yeti is. Ugh, it shouldn't because I have everything hard lined in. That's so frustrating. I want to see internet speed. Let me just check my internet speed. I have good internet. Not amazing internet. But not horrible internet speed. Sorry, Aaron. I don't know why it's cutting in and out. It sucks. Like, I can't wait to be back in a place I own versus a Airbnb, because it's one thing like when it's your place. Like when I had my apartment, I had thousand in here. It's probably like 200 or 150, and then probably like 100, like 150, 200, and 100. But so like here's again an example, right? I'm gonna place their order here. So she's saying she might pay for conversion. So and then finance the van. Well, a grooming van, a professional grooming van, is anywhere between $85,000 and about $120,000. Your van, your Sprinter van, is anywhere between $35,000 and about $65,000. Your conversion is generally anywhere between realistically $40,000 to $60,000. So that's about where we're at. There are some conversions that are cheaper. Yeah, it could be. For a moment, the audio skips, probably an OBS hiccup. It very much could be. So, if we're going to get a Sprinter, which I personally think you should only do, I have pretty strong opinions, so you take what you guys want from it. I personally do not believe in DIY grooming vans. I think, and again, I know it's not a popular thing to have an opinion on. I think there are definitely people that can do it right. I just think that for the most part, it's not wise. We don't suggest clients shave their own dogs, right? And you really don't need a college degree to do that. Engineering is a college degree. Engineering should be respected. It's not easy. If you're going to do it, just be aware that you really should never sell it, because God forbid someone kills themselves, kills a dog, you will be liable as a manufacturer. If you're having an issue with a Hanvee van, you call Hanvee, and they have a team of engineers and customer service to help walk you through a problem. And now that they have those QR codes, it literally pulls up videos how to fix something and common reasons that things could be, not ideal. So, and here's my thing, Ashley, is like, if you're going to pay outright for the conversion and you're going to finance the van, that's absolutely not a problem. But that means you need to save up realistically. I mean, let's even do it on the very low end, $30,000 to $60,000. To me, it makes more sense for you to have some money in your emergency fund than have it down on the van. So that's really nice. So Ashley, here's the thing is, if you're going to have $60,000 to do this, then you're golden. Then you can have this, right? So if you have this money down, then you're golden. Right? And so we've got our 6 months worth of business expenses, personal expenses. I don't know what your expenses are. I'm just going to take a wild guess. And that's where you've got to, do all of that. Right? So I want to save $60,000 by September 2020. I am going to put my order into Hanvee by September 2022 and start my business. Let's say you want to start December 2022. Now, with that, here's the thing. With that, starting December 2022, depending upon where you are in the country, is December 2022 the best date to start a mobile business? So this is where I might say, we've got all these things. We're like, okay, well, yeah, I can definitely open it by December 2022. But is that really the best date to open it? I always say the best times to open a grooming business is in September or in March. That is getting your feet wet before the holidays, having a month or two to kind of work out the kinks, get used to being in the van, build up your clientele slowly, and then you've got the holidays rush. And then from there, in the alternative, I like to see people open it as of March. And the reason I like March is because March, you don't have to, if you live in a place that has snow, and again, you might not live in a place that has snow, I don't like to see people open up a grooming business during snow, because snow is the hardest time to learn. And in the dead of summer, it's the hardest time too, because you're trying to learn your van and you're trying to learn how to gauge temperature, and dogs dry differently in a Hanvee van over in a shop, because it's just basically a tiny sauna on wheels. So learning the tips and tricks and getting involved in the mobile grooming groups is really going to help you. So going back to this, it's like, okay, so now that I have my answer, then I go, okay, well, maybe do I want to start my mobile grooming business before then? So that might be where Ashley, you already have some money, right? So instead of doing this, maybe instead we're going to actually bring it sooner, right? So maybe instead of doing it in December 2023, we are going to grooming business by, let's say, September 2022. I'm going to save up the $60,000 by, let's say, realistically, because we want at least 3 months. So let's say May 2022. Okay. And then we're going to place our order in May 2022. That is 3 months. So we're going to say, building June, July, August. So you get your van in August. But realistically, you're going to get it delivered in September. Because you're going to probably get a wrap, or you're going to have your marketing. Start my mobile business in September 2022, right? So this is, again, a more goal that it's been fleshed out. We've kind of worked through the kinks here. Let me move this stuff up. I'm hoping you guys can see this whole thing. I know it's not the easiest. So here we go. I want to open my mobile grooming business by September 2022. I will save up $60,000 by May 2022 for the down payment, the business expenses, and the personal expenses, and place my order for my van May 2020. And they're going to be building it realistically June, July, August. We start my mobile business in September 2020, right? So this is a pretty smart goal, right? Everything here has been thought of. We've organized it. It's relevant, and, I might even flesh this goal out a little bit here, and say, all back end marketing, website, policies, pricing, and procedures will be created and set up as of, let's say, July 2022, so I can start my, my business, taking clients, my first clients in September 2022. So again, I might go, okay, what do I need to do in this goal? And as you can see, we keep fleshing it out. Now, it's not as sexy, right? It's not as fun as just having this crazy thing. When we write something simple, I want to open up my mobile next year. That sounds really fun. It sounds really easy. I don't want to say easy because that's terrible. But this sounds like this is what we want to say. But as we're starting to flesh all of this out, it is longer. It is more pragmatic. It is a situation where we are breaking it down more and we're getting really clear on what we want, right? So let me do this again, but let's do this with somebody maybe who, Ashley's like, whatever, that's sexy as hell. So let's say, let's use one more and then I do need to go. Say, I want to earn more money next year. So let's say that's the goal we start with, right? That's what someone is going to say. And that's not a bad goal, right? But let's make it better. I want to earn $10,000 more next year. So this might seem like a better goal, but I actually think it's a worse goal. Because in order to know you want to earn 10 grand more next year, I want to know how much did you earn this year and how much are you going to earn next year. So instead, what I would say, I want to earn, let's say last year you made, for easy math, because I'm feeling lazy, let's say you earned $40,000 last year. So I want to earn $50,000 in 2022. Again, it's better. But here's the thing I want to ask you. Is that net or is that gross? So what net profit is after you've paid all your bills. Gross profit is all the money that comes in. So let's say you want to be nice to River. So I want to earn $50,000 gross profit in 2022. Because you're like, River, it's okay. I don't need to figure out my net right now. I just want to see 50 grand on the books by the end of the year. That's fine. Normally we'd say 100 grand because that's more realistic, but I'm feeling lazy, so we're going to say $50,000. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go, okay, how much is that per month, right? So I'm going to take my $50,000. I'm going to divide that by 12. So that's about earn $50,000 gross profit, and then I'm going to break it down for myself. I'm going to say $41.67 a month And then I'm going to break that down again by week. So I'm going to say 50 weeks. So it's about $1,000 a week. Right? I'm going to break that down so I can get it in my head. Gross profit in 2022. And I'm going to put, well, not adding any more grooms to my bottom line. Or cutting any of my current, I don't want to say entitlements. I'm going to say entitlements. So I'm not going to change shampoos to cut money. I'm not going to get rid of my Prima. I'm not going to sell anything. I'm going to enjoy the shit I have, right? So we're getting a little better here. I want to earn $50,000 gross profit. I wrote down how much it is, while not adding any more grooms to my bottom line or cutting any of my current entitlements. So this is where, I'm going to go, okay, now remember, with the cutting your entitlements, you don't necessarily have to add that because we put gross. But if I had put net profit, then I would. So I'm actually going to take that out because I don't have to worry about cutting money, because cutting money with my gross profit is really irrelevant. So right now, I'm going to go, okay, so I want to groom. So I have this. And I'm going to, again, just copy this because I'm feeling lazy and paste this, right? And I'm going to write 25 pets a week or 100 pets a month, right? And I'm going to do or 1,200 a year. So let's break that down, right? So if I'm going to do 50,000 pets a year, $50,000 gross, and I'm going to divide that by 1,200 pets a year, that is, right, so 50,000 divided by 1,200 grooms, we're looking at about $42 a groom, right? And if we do, again, if we do 100, we did 40. No, it's not. Yeah, no, that's right. I'm right. Just seems really low, but that's all good. It's because it's 50 grand versus like I'm used to seeing 100 grand. So let's say if we look at that. So I'm like, oh man, $42 a groom. I'm already grooming 25 pets a week, right? So let's do the 25. So that would be 42. Well, let's do, where's my month? There it is. So 41, 67 gross divided by 100 pets a month equals 42, right? A groom. And then again, that $1,000. So gross, 25 pets. And that's about 40. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, man, like I charge, let's say $45 a groom, right? And I didn't make $50,000. So what's going on with that? That's where that person has the opportunity to go, wait a minute, I'm already charging $45 or $50 a groom. Why? And I'm in theory, I think I'm grooming this many pets. What's going on here? Right? And so let's say they find out that, for this example, that maybe, and again, everybody's different. Let's say this person finds out that they're not charging no call, no shows, or, they're doing a lot of bath dogs and they're, bath dogs are like $35 for a lab. And they're like, oh my God, I've been doing this. Or maybe they find out I need to be doing this many dogs and they're, for Shih Tzus. But if they are, let's say if I can do 5 dogs a day, if they're Shih Tzus, but if they're Doodles, I'm doing, let's say I'm doing 10 pets a week, right? I need to do $1,000 gross. And I'm doing only 10 Doodles a week because Doodles are the bane of my existence. And in this example, I should be charging $100 for a Doodle groom. And let's say I go, oh crap, like I'm charging $75 for a doodle groom. And that might be where I'm going to start noticing problems, what's going on in my current business. So let's say if I'm like, man, like I already charged 50, so I can go back and say, okay, so maybe it's not about increasing pets, right? Maybe it's about increasing the groom. Maybe it's about finding out why I need these numbers to make sense. Because the truth is that the numbers don't lie. There are so many times you guys will throw shit out at me and I do the math and I'm like, well, there's something wrong here because the numbers you gave me don't add up. And if the numbers don't add up, it's not my fault. There's something going on here, right? So for this person, if they're charging 45 or 50 bucks a groom, it could be that they're doing less dogs than they think they are. And it's all this, or maybe they're comping things. Maybe there's a lot of people that, they're giving discounts to, or maybe it's that they're not grooming as many pets as they think they are, so they can go back through all of this stuff and start looking at it. So this is where a lot of times, as we're starting to make these our SMART goals, we're going to start seeing cracks in things. Because again, I want to earn more money next year. Once we start breaking this down, what happens really quickly is we see the cracks in the foundation. And this might be something where we're like, okay, like I need to groom $4,200 a month, right? Or $1,000 about a week. And that person might look at this and say, you know what? I want to do less pets. I want to take, instead of earning more money, not only do I want to earn more money, right? They might be like, hang on, let me just copy this because I'm feeling lazy. I'm not adding any, only working 4 days. 4 days a week. Right? And so we're going to bring that down to 20 pets a day. 20 pets a week, 80 pets a month. I'm going to do 80 times 12 because I think I know what it is, but I don't want to say it. Yep. So we got 960. Is that right? I think that's right. That sounds right. But it seems wrong. Nope. It's 960. So again, let's go ahead and do the math again, right? So we got our $50,000. And we're going to divide that by our 960 pets. Right? And we're going to do... It seems so weird when I'm doing these numbers because I normally do different numbers, but it's all good. So this is here a $52 groom. That's not really that high, right? So let's say if you go, you know what, actually, what does $100,000 gross look like? Make sure I have enough zeros. Gross, and let's divide that by 960 pets, right, a year. And this is where you can start playing with this and make it kind of a game. And as you're thinking about this goal, you're like, okay, well, is this a realistic goal? Now, this obviously is where you're like, oh man, that's $104 a groom. But if this is your goal, right, here, you might say, okay, this year in 2022, I want to gross $100,000. And then in 2023, I want to get it so that I can take an extra day off. So let's say, right, let's take that $100,000 and let's do it by 1,200 pets a year. Right, so we're going to take our $100,000, whoop, and we're going to divide that by 1,200 pets. So that's about $83 a groom. So you might focus this year from going from, 45 and 55 up to $83 a groom. And that would be a great goal for 2022. And then your goal for 2023 would be to bring that up another $20, right? So again, I know it's a little confusing. I'm hoping you guys can even see this screen. It might be fuzzy. But very quickly, we can break down this goal, make it realistic, and decide what we want to focus this year on. Like this person might say, you know what, I would rather focus on taking an entire day off. And then if I increase my prices, great. Or they might be like, you know what, I really want to double my income. And then in 2023, I will focus on taking that extra day off. There's so many different ways of figuring out how you want to do that. And there's no wrong way, guys. There's absolutely no wrong way. It's all about what you want to do and how you want to do it. All right, guys. If you are interested and you want to talk more, feel free to come into my free Facebook group, Savvy Pet Professionals. There we talk about personal finance, business, and lifestyle. There are so many, you can always go in there and message me. And if I can, I will always, message you guys back. If you are looking for help on how to set up your own SMART goals, feel free to go and do a virtual coffee. They're only $25. We can talk more about your business, your goals. And if you want more help after this virtual coffee, I can help push you into what is best for you, whether that is your, whether that's doing one-on-one coaching, signing up for group mentorship, or even signing up for a class like my price increase masterclass, which right now is currently a self-study. And I'm really enjoying it as a self-study. I think it's awesome that people are able to join whenever they want. They're able to have access to it whenever they want. I'm really enjoying having it as a self-study. Is it perfect? Of course not. But we're working on that. So thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope this has helped, how you can kind of start breaking down those goals, making sure they're realistic, and start fleshing them out to make sure it's really what you want to accomplish in 2022. All right, guys, so you take it easy, and if you need anything, please let me know. I will see you guys next week. As always, happy grooming.